Introducing first in the corner to my right, from the Andromeda Galaxy, the alien, Kris Statlander! Her opponent in the corner to my left is accompanied to ringside by Sammi. Representing Team Black and Blue, hailing from beyond the grave, this is the Widow, Belmont!
Clearly, there's an X factor at play, just like there was in the last match, DC, as Sammi Lane always seems to get her nose in business that it doesn't belong in.
Well, absolutely. I mean, at least Samara had Robo on her side to keep things even. Statlander's got nobody looking out for her.
It's been a while since we've seen the Mistress Belmont, at least in this type of setting. Taking some time off, of course, but now that she's back, rejuvenated, and I think she's more dangerous than ever. She looks in fantastic shape.
Oh, absolutely. Always keeps herself in tip-top condition. But like you said, Statlander's a great athlete in her own right.
Absolutely. She does things that you wouldn't think someone that tall and muscular would be able to do, but yet she goes in there. And I've said it before, shades of Rob Van Dam sometimes in the way that she throws these athletic kicks and maneuvers, so it's very, very impressive.
A very high praise calling from Paul Crockett.
But she doesn't need athleticism when she's biting your finger. What is going on here? Maybe she's not biting it. Maybe she, oh yeah, she's biting it. At first I thought maybe she was getting a little weird, because she is an alien, after all, I guess.
You thought she was getting a little bit weird?
Well, it's still weird, but biting is just trying to be vicious and mean. A tactical advantage, a weird one, I guess. Irish whip reversed. Statlander sent down with that nice shoulder tackle. Well,
I mean, Belmont's a veteran, and she knows that when you've got momentum building off the ropes. Statlander using her momentum against her right there, taking her down with an arm drag. You know, a lot of times when you're fresh out of wrestling school, you see that kind of reliance on sort of the more fundamental holds in professional wrestling. No criticism on my end for Statlander trying not to get too cute right now. You know, you're up against a veteran. You got to make sure to avoid making mistakes.
And now, Statlander just toying with her at this point. I mean, this...
Well, Statlander, both competitors in great shape. Statlander is a little bit bigger than Belmont.
Right.
But Belmont knows how to group. She was looking to perhaps get out of the ring, thought better of it, walked right into that, though. And we're going to see what Statlander can do. Bridging into a pin, but still holding on to the submission.
And that's that incredible athleticism I was talking about. That bridge is something that most people in wrestling can't even do.
And there you see some of those kicks on display, as you had alluded to. Oh! Pretty unique leg drop, caught her square across the chest.
Absolutely, and you can see the shades of RVD that I was talking about there, and just something like that.
Sure, the gymnastics match with the martial arts.
And innovation.
Oh! Belmont is tough. Belmont is brutal. Belmont has pretty much seen it all.
Yeah, she's been around the New England area for years and years, and she's seen different generations come and go, and she's adapted.
Absolutely. You know, I'm sure she shared the ring probably hundreds of times with the likes of Mercedes Martinez, Nikki Rocks, competitors that really laid the foundation for the quote-unquote women's revolution. Well, I shouldn't say quote-unquote. Our promotion is called Women's Wrestling Revolution. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. The Widow Belmont not going to show that flashy athleticism, although I'm sure she could, but in this type of a match, I think she's just going to use brute force.
Oof. Handful of hair, rocking your head like a basketball off the concrete.
We've seen Statlander in bad positions before and able to bounce back.
Belmont letting go before getting disqualified. Oh, now fish hooking her opponent. Completely uncalled for.
And of course, Statlander, no stranger to Sammi Lane, going one-on-one with Davey N back at Pinnacle to the Pit and coming up short, in part to Sammi Lane's interference.
Well, you know, it seems this is the second time that we've had the 6-person tag scheduled.
There it is again, come on.
Completely uncalled for. I did get to speak with Davey Ann earlier, and she did say that she thought that perhaps the team from Creator Pro was dodging black and blue. Second time that the matchup was scheduled, second time that it didn't happen.
I think I'm going to disagree with that one, but hey.
Well, I don't think that's a fair assessment. I think if you're in a car accident, you're completely well within your right to not make your booking later that day, but.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Of course, just glad she's all right.
Yeah, thankfully no serious injuries.
And hopefully be able to see her back here in a WWR ring very, very soon.
Belmont now trying to stretch Statlander. She's got the legs tied up. And immediately, knowing she's not going to get the submission, trying to do more damage to the rib cage. And now, pressure applied not only on the legs, but also the lower part of the back.
And
another illegal hold.
And that's the sign of a true veteran right there. She held that hold for 4.99 seconds, knowing just how long to keep it in there and continuing to work over that spine with just simple knees. And you think, oh, simple, whatever, but no, if you have precision striking on that, it's going to be devastating.
I think that was very telling. Statlander went to land a kick right there. She couldn't even maintain her balance.
Wait, what just happened? Can you explain that? Well, I can explain that. That was a Matrix-like maneuver to get out of the way. Bridge,
Look at
rather.
that, though. The drop kick right in position. Belmont tried her best to get up to her feet. Statlander just keeps mowing her down. Belmont knows if you're on your back, you're susceptible to getting pinned. And just like that, trying to stop.
Oh no.
Statlander's momentum taking her down with that power slam.
And that was more devastating than your normal power slam because Belmont came down shoulder and head first.
Yeah, Belmont tried putting on the brakes. Statlander just too powerful. Caught her with that rolling Finley roll.
Oh, she caught her. Not as much as she wanted to, but they did have impact there, DC.
I don't know who's got the better of that exchange. If Belmont just powering through it, popping up, catching her with a spine buster.
I'd say Belmont got the better of that exchange.
Absolutely. Kind of an awkward landing for Statlander. It looked like the majority of her torso colliding with the mat.
And from a casual fan's point of view, this may not look pretty, but this is devastating as far as a physical toll on both competitors here.
A very physical match, a lot more physical than what I was anticipating. And again, really having to change your strategy coming into a matchup like this. Preparing for a 6-woman tag. Oh! Some signature offense from Statlander. That electric chair into the face buster. She's not done. I think that would have been the perfect opportunity to go for a pin. That could have been a big mistake. Oh, instead looking for the exclamation point with the scissors kick. And enough to knock off Belmont. You got to consider that an upset.
100%.
Here is your winner, the Alien, Kris Statlander.
Well, an impressive victory. Something tells me that perhaps the issues between Creator Pro and Black and Blue have not been settled here today.